Okay, folks, here we are again. Let's give this a second try. I do see the blue light on the camera now. You're on the air with VA3EWV. This is
This
our.
is VA3EWV. Just FYI, I've logged myself out and back into NetWalker a couple times there now and tagged my into your net, but I'm not seeing a list of participants as I have in the past. So I don't know if that's my end or if anybody else on
Okay,
the net
he's.
at the current moment is using the same program and it's working properly. VA3EWV, this is V3JUM.
VE3JUM and the group, Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor returning. Okay, I think we got everything sorted out. The logger is up now, and the names go in as I put them in there. So you should probably see your name now coming up there. Let me just see view monitors. I do see you in there as viewing. So you're going to see the names populate there. Thanks, everybody. You know, I guess this is a little bit like radio. I don't know about you guys, but it seems like every time I go get ready to talk on the radio, something happens technically that gives me some more knowledge. But you know, it's. I was just telling Devin there, who's with us tonight. I don't think I would want to do any radio if I just turned my radio on and it just worked. I'll probably just sit there for 15 minutes waiting before I would use it. Okay, let me just see who's here with us now. We got a room full tonight. That's for sure. Okay, I got it together. We're gonna get started here. As someone is in the can see the new live and that's in the live, if you see any comments pop up there, please let me know. Because I'm just gonna keep going here on this side there. I don't want to keep anybody waiting any longer. It's already 6 after. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to On the Air with VA3EWV Echolink AllStar Net. My name is Ernest. I'm in St. Andrews, West Ontario, Canada. I'm delighted to be here, and my first radio was an iPhone 6 with Echolink on it, so that's why I keep this net going. And one of the first people I talked to on Echolink was Devin, who's here tonight. Okay, I've been a ham now, celebrated my second year on January 17th. I'm trying to get my hands into anything and everything I can get into. I'm always looking for a good topic, and if you guys can give me something tonight for a topic for next week, we'll do that. Let me pause right quick. So the topic tonight is just really simple. We always have two rounds. The final round is what are you doing for the weekend. So what our two topics tonight are is it's about like 7-3 or 73s or 73 or whatever. I just the reason I'm bringing it up, I saw somebody comment about that on one of the Facebook groups, and there's like 300 posts on that, and I will share what I feel about that as we get into the net. But one thing I hated when I was taking my training was I hated learning Q codes, and I didn't understand why. Because I'm like, that's for CW. If I'm not talking on CW or operating on CW, why should I need those Q codes? If I want to say let's go over to another band, I'll just simply say let's go to another band. Because I can say that. So that's the first one. That's what we're going to be talking about is the 73s and things like that. The second topic tonight is what other hobbies do you have besides radio? And then we'll end the night with what are you doing for the rest of the week? Okay. Um, we have here, if you guys are jotting it down, if you have pen and paper or whatever, we have tonight VE3JUM with us. We have VE1DXW with us tonight. Get him in the log there. We also have here tonight VA3GAM. Just writing all this down, VA3GAM. The next person we have out there tonight is NX3F. That's right, NX3F is in the house. Thank you for being out there tonight. We also have KD3AIJ. KD3AIJ. 3AIJ. Let me pause. Okay, I'm back in the shack. Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor. And we have Whiskey 2 Echo Lima Sierra. And we also have the repeater that's on VE6 IDK. VE6 IDK. And that is one of the repeaters that comes on every Friday night. And we hope that people from um, that place will join us there. I think I have most everybody in here tonight. So the first person that we had on the net tonight was VE3JUM. When you guys come in, just say who you are, where you're from, how long you've been a ham, and the first topic is the 7 to 3 or 7 threes. How do you say it? Back over to you, VE3JUM.
Hey, good evening, Ernest, and good evening to everybody on that. First off, Ernest, thank you very much for hosting this net. It's always a fun thing for me to do on Fridays at 8 o'clock Eastern. Name here is Jim, call signs VE3JUM. Victor Echo 3 Juliet Uniform Mike. Licensed in 1990. Located just in Smith Falls, Ontario. 73s. Well, back in the day, actually, when I was originally licensed, you used to see 73s and 88s a lot. I don't see so much 88s anymore, but I see 73s. But I see 73s a lot when corresponding with an association ham. But I think it's just it's one of those things that it's a honorary thing to know that your colleague that you're speaking to has been through the qualifications that you have been as well. So that's my quick one, and we'll check in more on the second round. Thanks, Ernest. VA3EWV, this is VE3JUM.
VE3JUM in the group, VA3EWV returning. And tonight, for those who come out a lot, tonight I'm on a different radio. I'm on my HF radio. Why? Because I was too lazy to go get my Anytone from out of the car. Yep, that's right, folks. The old Anytone that I usually talk on is in the car tonight. So I'm on the, so if I sound different, that's because I'm on my HF rig. So it's funny. Their biggest conversation was the whole 73s. And they were getting right into it. I can't believe, I wish I had that kind of activity on my website, right? I couldn't believe that one thing sparked like 300 comments. But some people say that a 7-3 means best regards, right? That's what that means. So they say when you say 73s, you're it's already plural. So 70, if you say 73s, it's like saying best regards with some more S's on it. Anyway, I'm like, bye y'all. That's what I'm like, I'll talk to you later. Heck, when I'm doing POTA on the air, if you're listening to my thing, I'll say 7-3 a lot just to be nice to tell people, okay, I'm finished talking to you. But I've stopped doing that. How do you think I'll rake in 250 contacts in 2 hours? Because I don't even do the 7-3. I'm just like, okay, NX3F, I'll talk to you later. Good signal from Omaha, Nebraska. All right, QRZ, and I just go to the next person. And I say QRZ because that's what I was told. If I didn't have to say that, I'll be like, okay, next person, come on in. I would literally say that because I'm not on CW. Okay, thank you, VE3JUM. All right, next on the list, VE1DXW, Devin. Where you from? How long you been a ham? And if you want to, you can either do the 7-3 thing or you can say what hobbies you have. Come on in.
VE1DXW, I'm from Nova Scotia. I just say 7 trees usually, and I just do this for a hobby. That's about it, and this is going to be my one and only because I'm watching a TV show that I wanted to watch. And did you see my post on your Facebook group, Earl, before I go?
No, I did not, and you made me think of something too. If you're a short-time check-in, we're going to take you first. Thank you for reminding me that, Devin. But no, I didn't see the post. Devin, back over to you.
Yeah, Roger that. I got into Angola in Central Africa there a little bit ago on FT8.
Okay, awesome. Hey, look, and that'll be a conversation down the road that you can actually share with these folks that may have not used FT8. FT8 is hard. It's not like in shooting fish in a barrel. It is very, very difficult. Because I have Angola as well, but it's not verified. Now I try to work that to verify that for the DX100, and I can't get anybody to verify that. Well, Devin, thanks for being out there with us tonight for your one and done. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you down the log there.
Yeah, the trees there, VA3EWV, VA1DXW clear.
Okay, so we're breaking with VE1DXW there out of Nova Scotia. We're going to pick it up now with VA3GAM. VA3GAM. Come on in.
Hey, good evening, Ernest, and everybody else on the net. The name is George Victor Alpha 3 Golf Alpha Mike. I'm from Vaughan, Ontario. I've been a ham for roughly 33 years, more off than on. I was out of it for a long while, and I got back into it about a year ago. Just still dabbling. Anyways, yeah, the topic regarding 7.3. I say 7.3. To me, it's kind of it's a way to say thank you or best regards at the end of a transmission. I tend not to think too much about it because I don't have the time or the energy to. In respect to other hobbies, I have them. As you know, I'm into ham radio. I'm into road cycling. I dabble in music. I'm a part-time DJ. I'm into model railroad,
That's cool.
electronics. IT is my career, but I do a lot of IT, at home as well. My whole house is, wired up and the whole bit. Yeah, I have a lot of hobbies, and unfortunately, none of them are very cheap, if you know what I mean. So that's why I'm probably going to be working until my mid to late 80s. Anyways, back over to Ernest. This is Victor Alpha 3, Golf Alpha Mike.
Victor Alpha 3, Golf Alpha Mike, and the group. Victor Alpha 3, Echo Whiskey Victor returning. Yeah, you had me giggling there in the background. Yeah, you know what? I don't pay too much attention to that too. I mean, like, I'm a guy that likes to push the talk button and talk, I'm not a guy that won't dare and sit to debate about is it 7.3 or 73 or 73s. I'm gone, right? So, that's it. I want to be a good ham there and put up a good example and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, don't get too technical, folks. I got a couple of cats around me that you say something and they're just all about correcting it. And I just giggle a little bit and I'm like, oh, thanks for letting me know. Because I don't want to sound silly at the end. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want to sound silly. But when I say, can you pass me that cup? And they go, it's a mug. I'm like, really? Just like I have 5 kids. And I'm like, Sarah, bring your butt here. And she's like, I'm Mel. I'm like, well, you're the only one standing in front of me. You know who the heck I'm talking about. Okay, anyway, let's keep it moving, folks. Let's keep it moving. Thank you for being out there. And that model train thing, that's cool. Feel free to share any of that stuff on the website and stuff like that. It's our group. It's not just my group there, and it's everything. So you can post anything you want there. Okay, we'll break with you there now. VA3GAM. We'll pick it up with Mr. Allen there. NX3F. Mr. Allen, how's it going with you today?
VA3EWV and Net. This is NX3F. Good evening to everybody. Well, let's see. My name is Alan Alpha Lima Lima Echo November, and I'm located in Temple Hills, Maryland, right outside of Washington, D.C., very close to where we had this and it went down into the water. It was terrible.
Oh.
We don't live too far from there at all, and things are really jumping down here. So my heart goes out to those who have lost their families and lost their loved ones in that horrific accident. Let me see. 73s. I use it all the time. I don't really think about it. I think I think it's just a thing where it's a respectful thing to do, even though that was implemented back during the CW days when before amateurs could talk. They were sending CW. Yes, they're sending CW. So, and I use it often. I don't really, like I say, I don't really think about it. It's a respect thing. I guess that's why I use it as well as some of the Q code too. Let me see, man. Other than that, everything is good. No complaints at all. VA3EWV. This is NX3F.
Okay, thanks for that NX3F. Yeah, and I guess the biggest thing that they were talking about, there wasn't a debate about using 7.3. It was a debate about if you say 7.3 or 73 or 7.3s or 73s, because the big debate on that website, like I said, 300 comments, was that it should be singular and not plural. And I was like, who cares, right? The people were saying bye. That's all you need to know is that they're leaving. So that's what the big debate was about. Also, thank you for always being out there. You're like on a streak here. I forget how many nets you've been there, but I wanted to just let you know tonight that you've been to like a lot of nets. I think you only probably missed one. I want to just tell you how much I appreciate you for being all out there and all the laughs we have. Okay, I'm going to take a pause right quick in case we have to have anybody that's a short time check-in. I do see Kilo Juliet 5, Hotel Zulu Delta has joined us. I'll pause if anybody needs to do a quick check-in. Please come now.
Victor Echo 1, Sierra Mike Charlie.
Net recognizes Victor Echo 1, Sierra Mike Charlie. Come on in. Let us know what your name is, where you're from, and all that stuff. Come on in.
VA3 Echo Whiskey Victor. This is Victor Echo 1 Sierra Mike Charlie. Name here is Shane, located here in Liverpool, Nova Scotia.
All right.
Down here on the East Coast, and I'm not too far from VE1 DXW. Maybe just about 5-minute drive from his home QTH there. So there you go. Yeah, I've been a ham operator for 20 years now there, and taking part in our nuts here in Nova Scotia. I've heard 7.3s being used a lot, mainly ending at when you're through doing your transmitting and checking it on net and everything like that. Always had the common courtesy of hearing 7.3s, and I've picked it up, I've used it, and even I've heard someone here earlier saying 88s. I've always heard 88s to the ladies there. So that's what I've heard all the time with 7.3s there. So I'll turn it back to you. VE1 Sierra Mike Charlie to VA3 Echo Whiskey Victor 7.3s.
Okay. There you go. So, you guys say 7.3s. Okay, I got it. And that was the big thing. The big debate was, is it 7.3s or 7.3? So I know I was taught to say 7.3, and you'll hear me say 7.3 all the time, because if you're doing code, right, you're doing 7.3, like the number 7 and number 3. So if you're doing code and you say 73s, that's a whole lot of typing. That's a whole lot of 70 and the word 3 with the S behind it, right? So that's a long time. So I think that's what those guys were groaning about. But again, my pitch on it was who cares, right? You had a good time. You're saying bye. 7.3, 73s, you know. But there are those people out there, okay? I'm not going to say that, I'm going to keep that to myself. Anyway, oh, see, I learned some stuff out there. Sometimes you just need to keep your mouth shut and have fun out there. Thanks for being out there. VE1S Sierra Mike Charlie. All right, our next person up to the mic is Kilo Delta 3 Alpha India Juliet. If you can tell us where you're from, how long you've been a ham, and we have two topics tonight that you can discuss. It's either the 7.3 singular 7.3s, how you guys use it. Also, what other hobbies you have besides radio? Come on in.
VA3EWV, this is Kilo Delta 3 Alpha India Juliet. My name is Ron. I'm on the western edge of Pennsylvania, pretty close to the Ohio line. And I say 7.3, but I've been a ham for only about 6 weeks now, but I was a ham when I was a teenager back in the 1960s. And of course I was using CW then. And 7.3 was the way we closed out pretty much every transmission. Although I do remember people who would send 7.3 and then 7.3 again. So maybe that's kind of where the plurals began. So it wasn't just greetings or so long. It was kind of more emphasis maybe. I'm not sure. But I typically say 7.3. In terms of other hobbies, I do some trades, family, ancestry, that sort of thing. But really gotten back into ham radio now and enjoying that a great deal. We're hoping for kind of a warm up here, although we've got a lot of rain right now, but into the 40s, maybe low 50s the next couple of days. So if I get a chance this weekend, I'm going to try to get out and wash the car. Other than that, I'm going to send it back to you, Ernest. Thanks for being here tonight and hosting the net. Always enjoy being part of it. Back to you.
Thank you, too. We appreciate you being out there, too, and joining us and making this a great net. Yeah, maybe that was it. And glad you're back in the ham radio, too, by the way. So we had, so far we had one of our folks tonight, Model Trains. You do Ancestry. We signed up for that 21andMe. Found out a lot of interesting stuff about that too, which was cool, right? We do it a lot in the South just to make sure we're not marrying into each other's families and stuff. Oh, Lord have mercy. When I was growing up, any girl that looked good, my mom was like, "That's your cousin," and I was like, "Really?" Because because we were just told that's your cousin, right? And I was like, "Huh," And then years and years later, I was like, "Mom, I got something to ask you." So to be my cousin, right? So that's how Mom just kept that down. She'd always say, "Oh, don't talk to her; she's your cousin." So we had to get that all sorted out. All right, let me see where I'm at. Let me see where my tracker is here. That's why I have that thing. And for some type of reason, I've misplaced my... oh, here we go. All right. We have, let's see. We have Whiskey 2 Echo Lima Sierra. Whiskey 2 Echo Lima Sierra. Come on in.
Romeo, October, November, calling from Western New York, outside of Rochester, New York. Ernest, thanks for having me in again. Always a pleasure to hop on the net, and net greetings to everyone. So I'm only going to ham a little over 6 months. I went from 0 to amateur extra in 6 months, and definitely enjoying the hobby. I didn't really get into the Q codes and using 73 until, of course, I hopped on HF, because on the VHF you don't have to. So yeah, I threw a little swing in there. Instead of saying 73s, I throw in 73s, just a little swing on the end of it, I don't know, maybe it's a little personal style that I threw on it. But yeah, definitely So I'll just and then okay, say 73s. Knowing its best regards, double S's. But yeah, that's what I do. And other hobbies. I'm into golf, and I'm also get into running as well. But I'll turn back to Net. W2ELS clear.
W2ELS in the group. Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor returning. Hey, look, the funny thing is, too, there's a lot of those Q codes there, and I was like, man, I hope I don't get any of those. I hope I don't get any of those. But, the funny, I'm just going to share with you guys. I didn't even know it stood for best regards. Some of the stuff you pick up, like, I've actually had two people now. Two people tell me, who are advanced hams and have been hams forever and ever. I had two people tell me this. How did you become a ham? Because in their mind, you should know everything about everything in radio before you even keyed up a mic. And I find that fascinating because I thought that part of the experience was, learning enough in the class that you don't kill yourself or nobody else. That's first priority. Safety first. Okay, you're not killing anybody? Great, that's number one. Number two, I did, all the rules and stuff like that. These tests are broken up into different categories, and a lot of the rules and regulations, like where you're supposed to transmit on the band, stuff like that. That's the very important stuff because you don't want nobody come knocking at your door. But to get all bent out of shape because someone's saying 73s compared to 7.3, and I was like, man, I better start saying that all, because I don't even say that. I'll talk to VA3EWV there, and I'll be like, okay, Mr. Allen, I'll be checking you out tomorrow. You have a good rest of your day. Bye. And, and he might say 7.3 because he's used to it. But I, being that level meter guy forever, we always said, bye, yah. I know y'all want to hear that for all these ham folks out there, but that's how we did it. Right? We had to say bye with some pizzazz to it. 7.3 sounds just so vanilla, right? Like, anyway, that's how we did it. Thank you for being out there. Whiskey 2 Echo Lima Sierra. So we are at the bottom of the list. I think we are at the bottom of the list. Let me see here. Is anybody on Victor Echo 6, India Delta Kilo? Anybody out there on the Spruce Grove repeater in Alberta? Come on in. Okay, one day I might get a surprise and hear something out there, and that'll be great. We're going to keep them on there, though, because you never know who's listening. Because there's a big thing called scanner listeners. Didn't even know that. I was like, really? That's the thing? Because the guy asked me last night, hey, how'd you get into ham radio? He says, I got in by being a scanner listener. And I was like, what's that? Because the only radio I just listened to was just like the music radio. I couldn't sit there and just listen to radio if I couldn't participate. Okay, we're at the bottom of the list there. Now we are ready for round 2, which is basically what are you doing for the weekend. Also, the nets that I run, I just want to make sure everybody knows this. If you hear something going on that's interesting or something that someone's talking about, you at the end of the net, you guys can crosstalk. I do like that. I do attend a lot of nets myself. And I'll hear somebody saying something, and I'll write their call sign down, go to QRZ to be disappointed that they don't have an email there. So let's miss out on those opportunities. So we're not going to do that here. We're going to make sure that we have that talk. Let me pause. Okay, if I missed you, come on in now. If I hear silence, we're going to go back up to the list to VE3JUM. So if I missed anybody, please come now. Okay, nothing heard. Let's bring it up to the top to VE3JUM. So what you gonna be doing on your weekend? I know that there's a North somebody QSO party and a couple other things going on radio. What are you gonna be up to? Over.
Yeah, there's always something to do. Ironically, I've been my old Kenwood TS 2000, which was my base station at my old residence, or my old TPH. the COM port is, I'm diagnosing it, let's just say that, but I just ordered some equipment, let's just say from another vendor, and it should be coming in next week, so I'm anxiously awaiting for that to arrive. But I think I mentioned to you that the YL is on Facebook, and I'm trying to convince her to get her license. So I need a lot of advocacy here on the air to pull it in. So I'm going to give her 2 minutes on the mic, Ernest. 2 minutes, not even that. Just so that she could say hello to the group and see if we can pull her into this vortex of ham radio. Just say hello.
Hello, everyone. I definitely cannot talk for 2 minutes, unlike Jim here, but yeah, I'm fascinated by what you guys do. I understand that it's a lot of studying because I watched Jim get your advanced level, so I saw what went into to that. But yeah, I hope everyone has a great weekend.
All right, Ernest. That's the limited version. Anyway, I hope everybody has a good weekend and enjoy it. Winter or summer's upon us, so I do feel the sun change and the temperature's changing. And thank you very much, Ernest, again once for holding the net. Everybody have a good weekend. 73, is that plural, Ernest, or double plural, or hyphenated plural, or whatever? I'm kidding. Have a good one. VA3 or VA3EWV. This is VA3.
Oh, Lord have mercy. VE3JUM. Okay, first thing, everybody that's out here, because I know some of us out here. I know Mr. Allen's going to be out there asking some questions soon. We didn't get your XYL's name, so hit us up with that first. What's your name?
My name is Laura.
Okay, see? Okay, well, Laura, he's like, let's get you into the hobby and stuff like that, but I'll tell you something. There's always a reason that someone gets into the hobby, right? And all I have to say is this. A guy came to my house. I was a happy 11-meter person. That means CB radio. I was just a happy CBer. Was on the CB radio young, and then right before I went to university, I got a job at a place called Domino's Pizza, and that's back before GPS and stuff like that. So it was always fun to go out there and deliver the pizza to people. But all my friends were on the CB radio, so it was like the perfect job. Then I met a woman, and yeah, then we fast forward. We fast forward 30 years later because I wasn't on the radio. I was too busy running behind my wife there, and then running behind 5 kids. And now they're running behind me because they bring me out and let me do all this stuff like that. Hold on, don't go away. Hold on, Laura. So what I was going to say was this. For ham radio, a guy came to my house, saw my radio, and he said, hey, have you ever thought about ham radio? And I'm like, do you have to take a test for that? And he goes, yes. I'm like, no, I'm out. I promised myself that when I finish school, I would never go back. You know? I promised myself a lot of stuff, and I lie about all that stuff. I lie about that every day, but I kept that promise. Well, no, because I did study. But I'll tell you, it's just what wants to make you get into the hobby. So what made me want to get into ham radio and do my license and stuff like that, well, do my advanced, I was having fun on ham radio, and some of these guys were all nitpicky and stuff. And the people that I had met, like Devin, VE1DXW, and Rebecca, who's not here tonight, Kimberly, VE3KKA, those folks, we were all talking on Echolink. Then all of a sudden, we had a person doing burping and all this stuff on the radio, and they shut down the repeater and changed the tone and said that it was for club only. And so I couldn't talk to those folks like Devin and Rebecca and Kimberly and all that stuff. So I got all like, I'm like, that's it. I'm going to go get my own repeater. And they're like, joke's on you, you have to have an advanced license. Let me pause. So I went all the way because I was determined to get my own thing, and that's why I'm holding this Echolink AllStar Net. It took me 4 months to get this up and running. I met the guy who actually created Echolink. His name is Jonathan Taylor, and also he's available. He loves to go talk to groups and ham clubs. So even if you're a new ham and you're in a club or something like that, and you guys have guest speakers, I can hook you up with Jonathan Taylor there, and he can get you all sorted out. But anyway, I think it was Laura, yeah. So now here's the thing. Let me pause one more time. I know I'm getting long winded, but this is the fun part. All the guys that I know that just talk on the ham radio, they're just regular, ordinary guys, okay? And in radio, Laura, when you talk, especially on not repeater or echo link like we're doing now, there's this thing called gain, dB gain. So the better your antenna, the farther you can get out, the further you can hear. So, for example, if I'm doing parks on the air, just by me saying parks on the air, I have an extra 3 decibel gain just for saying parks on the air. The moment that you start talking with Jim here and you get on the radio, he's gonna get extra hotness. Like if he's at the hotness level 5 right now, he's gonna pop up to a 10, right? If he's popular at a level 5 popularity in the community, if you start talking on radio too, y'all gonna be a 10. So if you want to give your man a little bit of a pop up in popularity, just go ahead and do your license like that. Then he'll be popular. Number 2, it would be nice if you were just to take the test, so you can make a better score than him. Then you have bragging rights. So I know you're like, oh no, but you know what? I want you to go take your test now, just so you can beat him in his score and have extra bragging rights. Back over to you, Laura. VA3EWV.
That was quite entertaining. I would love to be able to say that I could get a better score than Jim, and I would try very hard, but I don't know. That might be a tough challenge.
Ernest, thank you very much. You had me in stitches there, but yeah, you know what? At first I thought you were implying that when you're talking about DB gain, I thought like he needs to have a tower and an antenna and all the other things like that. That's where I thought you were going. But anyway, appreciate the plug. Everybody have a good evening. VA3EWV. Back to that.
No problem, no problem. I've actually met quite a few XYLs in ham. There's a couple on our website there in closing. Poto Power. You have Vaughn and Julie. And I remember I was smoking Vaughn. Not that I was trying to like beat him or anything like that. But I was just, I was rolling all over these guys and stuff, doing parks on the air. That's fun. That's something and you don't have to be a ham to go out and, do that. All that's fun stuff, right? But next thing I know, Julie's on the screen there, right? And we started with about the same people, 5 or 6 followers, and then 100 followers. That took us months and months. Then Julie starts showing up. And now they're like at 1,000 followers or something like that. And I keep saying to my wife, I'm like, Poto Power is out there, and they're all giggling and stuff, and holding hands, and going out and having dinner. I'm like, that could be us. So look, I actually tried to get her to go out. Hold on a second. Oh Lord, have mercy. Okay, we have a pretty nice place here. We have some trees in the back, some willow trees and stuff like that. And I was trying to get the XYL. I said, look, can I just go sit up the table, the radio and stuff like that, and you just sit there and look pretty like you always do, and just smile and stuff like that. Hold the mic in your hand. Let me get a couple pictures, so I can get that 3 dB gain that I need, so I can, So I just need to let people have the thought that you are a ham operator. Anyway, we're going to break with you guys there. That was a lot of fun there. I hope you have you back out there again. Okay, I think the next person up here is NX3F. Mr. Allen, come on in. I'm dying over here.
Okie doke. VA3EWV in the group, NX3F. Man, you know what? Boy, you open up a can of worms. Lord have mercy. Man, man, I got all this stuff, man, that I was jotting down while everybody was talking. Oh my goodness, I can't go through all this.
Yeah,
We'll
you
be here
can.
till 1 o'clock this morning.
You can go through it.
Oh wow, where do I start? Anyway, the weekend, your question was weekend, I'm going to do some electrical wiring for my stepdaughter. Matter of fact, me and my wife are both going to help, she's going to help me out on that one. So that should be interesting. VA3EWV, he mentioned that a comport problem with his Kenwood TS2000. I also had a comport problem with my 2000. As a matter of fact, I still got that rig. And what it turned out to be is the chip was blown on the interface board. So I thought I'd mention that. Oh, man. So much. I mean, to comment on what my hobbies were. Actually, my hobbies are electronics. They are electronics, fixing things, repairing things, and I also love to dabble on the keyboards.
Okay.
Got a excuse me, piano, a digital piano, and a Hammond organ. I love to dabble on that stuff, even though I am a professional drummer. So I meant to mention that too.
Nice.
Rest of the stuff, I'm gonna let it go to another episode here. You mentioned so much, man. I got about 10 things on the list. Hey, you know what would be a good topic for you to bring up? Antennas. Antennas. That would be a real good topic. Back to you, Ernest. VA3EWV. Excuse me, this is NX3L.
Okay, before I go on, we're going to give VE3JUM some time to respond back to that about that port thing or whatever you're talking about there. VE3JUM, did you catch that from NX3F over?
Yeah, Q, so I did get that. I've done an extensive amount of testing right now with this radio. It's so bizarre. I find these older RS-232 ports so finicky, let's just put it that way. But this radio was working, and when I moved, I didn't think I'd be working HF or any of the digital modes with that radio. All I wanted with the COM port was to change the memories and plugging it into the same laptop. I ended up buying a new USB to serial adapter plus the cable. Anyway, all I have to say is that I believe I'm in the same boat as Alan has just explained, that the chip on the board inside the transceiver is kaput. Ironically, I'm in a really good position to have that thing replaced, so I ordered a couple of those parts. And at the same time, ordered a spare rig. Anyway, that's how it goes. You know what? This hobby, I need a second job to maintain it. Anyway, thanks, Alan. I appreciate that. Everybody have a good one. VE3JUM, back to net.
VE3JUM in the group. VA3EWV returning. Hey, check it out. No, you don't. You don't need another job there. All you have to do is say, hey, I know you don't know about radios and stuff yet, but look, this one does this. What does this one look like? This one does this. Look what this one looks like. Oh, look, this one has a pretty scope on this, that, and other. Next thing you know, y'all be going half on radio there because think of Laura. Might want to be using it there. Okay, anyway, we're through it. We've talked to VE3JUM, NX3F. Okay, we're down to VA3GAM. Come on in with what you're doing for the weekend there. Over.
VA3WV in a group, VA3GAM. I posted some, as per your request, I posted some of my hobby pics on your Facebook page, so you can take a look at that if you're interested. For the weekend, I've been working on this model train speedward. Anyways, I'm going to be completing that. I'm going to be flipping the last section of bench work over and standing it up tonight, hopefully, and that should be it for the bench work, and then I'm going to continue on to some of the other aspects of the build. I've got to come up with my track plan and start laying down some track, and yeah, so I'm going to be doing that for the remainder of the weekend, along with some regular family duties, I suppose, and maybe a little bit of artwork on the side, but that's about it. Hopefully I won't be doing too much work stuff, and hopefully get a chance to rest. So that will be my weekend, and this will be my final, because I got to jump out of here. Got to grab my son. He has to help me flip over that bench and get it put together, or get it assembled to the other piece. So I'm going to be out of here. This is my final. So anyways, Ernest, thank you so much. Thanks to everybody in the group. It was a good net tonight, and I am out of here. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. Back over to you, Net Control, Victor Alpha 3, Golf Alpha Mike, and I am clear. Thanks so much. Good night.
Okay, Victor Alpha 3, Golf Alpha Mike. He said good night. See, did y'all notice that he didn't even give us those 7-3 or 73s or all that stuff like that? And that's me. I'm like, okay, I'll holler at you later. Okay, thank you so much, VA3EWV. Have a good rest of your weekend. All right, let's see. Whiskey 2, Echo Lima Sierra. You're the last on the list. Come on in.
VA3EWV, Whiskey 2, Echo Lima Sierra, Ron again. No plans for the weekend. I'm hoping to play a little bit of radio. I not going to have much time tomorrow, but I got up this afternoon and did a little Dakota, and I got a lot of contacts because the band conditions on 20 were really good, even though it's rain, snow mixed in here, but still good band conditions. But no big plans this weekend, but back to YLs and radio. There is no way I'm ever getting my XYL on the radio. I tried, and it's good that we all each have our own hobby so that we can do our own thing a little bit and then come back together. So it's always good to separate and have our own hobby and do your own thing. I do have a chance, though. One of my daughters is going into college, and I told her, if you look, hey, look at all these scholarships radio are giving if you have a technician license you can apply for. So I might get her to study for her tech exam here, and might be able to get her radio license and, get some scholarships to help out with college. But anyway, with you two, Echo Lima Sierra, clear.
Hey, I'm telling you, you need to give them an incentive. Like, so if they have a car or something like that, you can say, hey, look, I'll pay for your gas. You get your license there. I'll pay for gas for like 6 months, something like that. No, that's probably too steep. But anyway, yeah. Well, I'm glad you got a chance out there. Yeah, it's not for everybody, but at least we'll try to get everybody into it. My XYL is supportive in the fact that when I went to go get when everything got shut down there and stuff like that, she goes, "I support you getting your thing. I can help you with the electronics because I took that in school." And I was like, okay. And she's like, "But I'm never going to get on the mic though." And she purchased me my Yaesu 9918 as a gift. I didn't even have to buy it or nothing. And she had saved up money, so it didn't even hit the credit card. Her and my friend there, they discussed, and she kept asking me what I liked about the hobby and this and this and this, and they came up with this radio. Now I wish I had 2 of them, just like my Anytone there. But anyway, yeah, thank you so much for being out there, and you have a good rest of your weekend. All right, so NX3F, I got 15 more minutes that I'm going to be here. But before we open up the floor to you and I with the list you have, anybody else want to say anything before we call it a night? The mic is open to anyone out there that wants to say some last words there.
Good evening, viewers, and everybody else. I got a question for everybody on the net. Because I'm dabbling a little wee bit with digital, and I had a hotspot set up, excuse me, and it's working perfectly fine. It's on the 5-star. It uses one of those VVM hats on top of a Raspberry Pi Zero. Works perfectly fine. I had a local ham, VA3EWV, lend me a ID51 little handheld, and it gets me, it's D-Star, it gets me on the digital modes. Earlier this afternoon, I heard people talking about TGIF, and it being another mechanism for, I call it a transport or hotspot type of system that gets you on digital modes. So me being so new in regards to digital stuff, I'm just curious, and we can take it off net or whatever, but if people have experience with TGIF and how does that compare to other modes. But anyway, that's where I'm trajectorying with my ham radio stuff. But back to you, Ernest. VA3EWV, this is the VA3EWV.
Okay, that's a good question. I Googled it. I don't have any idea what that is, but I always like to learn about new stuff. And that, I'm telling you now, that's why I have this net, because I'm nosy. I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there. I'm nosy. I want to see what everybody else is doing. And that's why 2 years back to back, I've been having a year in my club, because I'm always learning and finding something new. You cannot get bored in this hobby there, that's for sure. Anyone else know anything about the TGIF? Because I thought because that's why I named my net tonight TGIF, because I thought that was Thank God It's Friday. Anyway, anyone want to chime in on that? Over.
Well, I'm going to try to go first on that one. TGIF, this is NX3. TGIF, I'm wondering if that's that new interface that they got that you can hook up to your laptop or desktop and use that versus your RF radio, using your RF radio, your handheld or mobile radio, whatever you're using to access the network. I wonder if that's not it. I'm gonna take a stab at it. I may be all wrong on that. Go ahead.
I don't know. I'm reading about it now, but they're using terminology like talk groups. You know, what do I do to get a talk group on TGIF? So it's almost sound like DMR, right? Please don't only request a talk group that is a 5 number long, unless you are going to use your own 6-digit repeater ID or 7-digit DMR ID. So this is something that sounds cool. I'll have to check out that too. You got my curiosity peaked up too. And I see another thing down here says new DMR TGIF network enthusiast talk group. So the good thing about the time that we live in now, so many things I've gotten to work by going to YouTube. And before I go on, do you think that it's really for your radio? Do you think it's an actual physical problem with your radio? Because I know I caught HE double hockey sticks. I caught hell trying to set up my FT8 and stuff like that and slow scan TV, because I have Windows 10 and I could never see the COM ports because of some problem. And then I stumbled upon something. It was like 3 or 4 weeks in the making. And I stumbled upon some type of drivers. And once I got those drivers installed, then all of a sudden my worries were over and I was able to see the COM ports, because my computer didn't even show COM ports. So once I got that sorted out, I could actually see the COM port, and then the radio connected to it, no problem. But I was a good 4, maybe 6 weeks trying to figure it out, and I had used different, like my wife's laptop, my desktop, but all of our computers are aged. We don't have anything new. They're about 5 or 6 years old. Back over, NX, we have anything on that? We'll just move over to you.
of the stuff on when I was running my TS2000, and it was it gave me a fit. And the Kenwood TS2000 serial port was always very finicky, very finicky. Man, I'm gonna tell you what, that thing will make a priest cuss, no joke. But yeah, if you don't have the right drivers on there, like you say, you're really gonna catch it. I don't use the TS2000 on a digital modes anymore. I've got some other gear here that I use on a digital modes when I go on FT8 and Whisper and all the rest of the other stuff. But yeah, this thing is that 2GIF. That's going to be an interesting one. I haven't been on DMR in so long. I don't even know if my hotspot still works, and I'll be quite honest with y'all. So I just haven't been on it at all. I prefer the audio quality on AllStar versus the DMR. And I think when I had the ICOM radio, I did dabble with that ICOM's. Oh man, I can't think of the name of it right now. D-Star, that's what it was. D-Star. I did dabble with D-Star a little bit. Back over to you all, NX3.
Okay, VA3EWV, you got anything on that one?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, that's great comments, no doubt about it. Yeah, the TS2000, it's still it operates perfectly fine. The only reason why I was looking to hook on to the COM port, like I say, I'm not running digital modes, i.e. using HRD for control of satellite communication or FT8 or anything like that right now. On that rig, the only reason why I wanted to hook onto that port is because when I moved, I lost probably more than 70% of the repeaters that I used to talk on VHF, UHF, so they're all gone. And so I just wanted to, rather than do this all manually, it's easier to do it through chirp or something like that, through that port. But nonetheless, we'll figure that part out. Like I said, in the meantime, I have a new rig on order, and we'll see when that thing arrives. But it brings the name back to the topic that I mentioned, the TGIF. So that, I have a hotspot right now that runs the MMGVM, but it's on a PyStar. This is supposed to be what they call WPSD Digital Voice Dashboard. So very similar to PyStar, but apparently this is a different software load that you put on the same hardware. I haven't tried it out. Like I said, I need to find a job to buy all this equipment to keep running these different things. We're trying it out, but I don't know what's different, but it was just recently discussed on one of the local VHF repeaters that I was on, and I looked it up, and I was like, this is kind of cool too. I don't know what the advantages are over the regular PyStar stuff, but where I run my hotspot right now is I can run C4FM, DMR, DStar, you name it, and I have that capability tied back to a little HT in here in the shack, if you want to call it that. Anyway, this hobby sometimes is overwhelming, and not overwhelming, but it's a continuous learning, and I like that. And so cool to see that the digital modes keep evolving, and a lot of people have said that the hobby was a dying breed or dying in many facets, but I don't see that. What I see is it just keep evolving and taking advantage of the technologies that are presented in front of us. So very cool. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on that kind of thing. But hotspots and digital modes seems to be an anomaly right now because every manufacturer, not every manufacturer, but each manufacturer has their own mode. And when that comes to head, that's when I'll take Ernest's money and I'll buy my rig. Back to that. VA3EWV, this is VA3EWV.
I'm telling you, Thank you so much, VE3JUM, and also Miss Allen for your contributions there as well. Yeah, this is what I love about this net that we could talk back and forth to each other and pop up those new ideas. So that's definitely something I'll be trying. But once you get that stuff going, in my experience, once you get it going, it becomes a lot easier. Because, for example, for Winter Field Day, they said if you do some wind link contacts, you'll get bonus points. Now, because my rig already has FT8, I was using that, and the struggles I got, trying to get that set up. SSTV, Slow Scan TV, the trouble trying to get that set up, right? Echolink with all the port forwarding and the AllStar node and all that, trying to get all that set up. By the time I got to WinLink, when I started installing that software, some of the things build on the same basics. So I was like, oh, I know this part. So when the guy was calling me to help me set it up, I had downloaded the software, both software that I needed. I had registered everything I needed. I did a lot of pre-work. I just didn't know some parts of it. But he was quite pleased too. Well, not pleased. He was quite excited because he had probably allotted about 3 hours of time to help me with that, and we still use the three. We still use the 3 hours, but it only took me about 20 minutes to get everything set up there. Okay, we do have Kilo 5 X-Ray Zulu Zulu that just popped in. Kilo 5 X-Ray Zulu Zulu, welcome to On the Air with VA3EWV Echolink AllStar Net. We do have time to take in there. Where are you from? What's your name? How long you been a ham? Come on in. Oh. Kilo 5 X-Ray Zulu Zulu. Are you there? Over. Okay, sometimes it's people's first time coming in using Echolink and stuff like that. And for Laura, just to let you know out there, um, a ham radio can be very inexpensive. My all of my first equipment that I had was basically given to me and stuff like that by hams, and it was older equipment, but it's just stuff to get you started. And with permission from those people, I went ahead and sold a lot of that stuff. Like I sold my first antenna that was for 11 meter or CB radio. I sold that and then took the proceeds from that to buy a ham antenna. I sold my base station radio for CB and bought my first mobile radio. Uh, but the first thing I used was my phone. So there are apps out there that you can download to your cell phone, to your computer. Even Echolink, you can use it on a web browser and just start listening. In closing, if nobody else has anything to say, I will bring up a cool little story. My mother-in-law, who has now passed, though she's been passed for a while, she was from Denmark, and I had showed her. Um, this was when they had this thing called Pal Talk, but this is the same that you can do with Echolink. So if you have people that are from other countries that have moved, like a lot of immigrants come to Canada, it was so cool for me to go to that Pal Talk program, find a radio station from from the actual city that she grew up in, and when she heard her own native tongue from the town that she lived in, and they were just talking, the radio commercials and stuff like that, it was something else. So, if you are able to get a cell phone there or anything like that, you can always start listening to all these cool conversations like this, and you never know what you run into. Well, that's all for me. What I'm doing this weekend is we have a fox hunt with our club on Sunday. A fox hunt is you're going out with some radio equipment that you go look for a beacon. So we meet like at 12:45 at Tim Hortons coffee shop. We all get ready with our equipment, sit there and rag shoot for a bit, and then we ride around town looking for this fox. After 2 hours, we meet back up at the coffee shop and say how good we are or how bad we were. And we have a good old time with that. So that's what I'll be doing. I've brought my grandkids to that before. I'm trying to get the local scouts involved in that as well. And you do not have to be a licensed ham operator to go to a fox hunt. I will post pictures and stuff like that on the website this week. And that's all for me. Anybody with any last comments, please come on in.
VA3EWV, this is VA3EWV. Aaron, thanks for those comments. You know, as you were talking and, let's say, persuading, I virtually slipped you $20 underneath the table, so just have a look. We'll see you next week. Thanks for hosting. VA3EWV, this is VA3JUM. Okay.
All right, VE3JUM and Laura, y'all have a good rest of your weekend there. 73, 73, 73, 73, and all that other stuff. And y'all have a good rest of your weekend there. And we're clear with you. Go ahead. All right, W2ELS. Any last comments? Go ahead.
Whiskey 2, Echo Lima Sierra. Nope, nothing else. Just want to wish everyone a happy and safe weekend. Whiskey 2, Echo Lima Sierra is clear. 73. Well.
Oh, okay, Whiskey 2, Echo Lima Sierra. You have a good weekend there and a good rest of your upcoming weeks. 73. All right. Let's see here. We have NX3F. Any finals from you? NX3F, come on in.
Yeah, okay. This is NX3F. JUM, I wish you luck on the project there on the Kenwood. I'm sure you're going down the right track and troubleshooting that thing, and hope you get that COM port working. I meant to comment on the missus there, and getting her license. That'd be real nice. I'm trying to talk to mine right now. I'm in the process of doing it, and I told her, my excuse to her is that it would be fantastic if you did get it that way there, in case of an emergency. We'll be able to communicate with each other on the long haul versus a short haul. The long haul would be, would be able to go to a UHF or VHF repeater in case of emergency. So that's what I'm trying to talk to my wife about. I think she's going to spring, though. She's really good at taking tests. And she don't have to worry about the theory. All she has to do is just ask me about the theory, and I can help her out on that. Okay, y'all. I will say 73s. Everybody has a nice week. Again, thanks for letting me check in. Ernest, you do a fantastic job here trying to keeping the group together. I really appreciate you, man. You do a good job at it. And I'm glad that we did run into each other here some time back. Certainly is a pleasure. So 73s, everybody. Everybody have a good week. This is NX3F.
NX3F in the group. Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor returning. Yeah, Mr. Allen, it's always good to have you out there. And we're picking up a lot of new stuff, too, having these conversations. I really like to see this is what it's all about. You can start doing your own thing, right? So, yeah, as long as we're keeping the guidelines. So I'd like to say 73s. I just love that. I didn't have to say that, but I'm just giggling at myself for that. Anyway, 73 to you two, and you have a good rest of your day there, and a good weekend. Sorry, I did not even, I hadn't even heard about that accident. I looked it up while we were talking there, and I didn't even know about it. That's what happens when you're only, when you don't have news, and after the election, I just disconnected from all news there, and just been on the radio. So I'm glad you brought that up, and I am sad to hear about those folks there. And anyway, we have prayers for their families and stuff like that. It is a awful tragedy there. You don't have that many things like that happening. So, all right, NX3F, you have a good rest of your weekend. All right, one last call for anybody else who wants to say their goodbyes before we go and close this one off. Come on in. Okay, so.
Hey, you know what, Ernst? I meant to mention this to you here right quick. I'm not going to hold you any. You know, a good conversation would be, a good topic at some point in time would be, how did you become a ham operator? What influenced you in becoming a ham operator? That'd be a real interesting topic. 73, that's 3 up.
I'm going to double up on that one because if you check out one of my last videos at an activation I just got through doing, it was so cold here in Canada there, I have that telescopic antenna, and I was trying to work over 10 bands, right? Because they have that POTA thing where if you work 10 bands in 10 parks, you get a special award. So I started, just on 6, and that's just like with the first part out. And then you keep pulling out, and you work up the band, right? So I was sitting there pulling on. You can see me on the video, just kept yanking on it, silly me. And then pull the doggone thing out, and I'm like, come on, those antennas are like $300, eh? So I'm gonna be asking, has anybody ever, how do you repair a telescopic antenna? Because all the pieces have to fit in top of each other, so. I don't know, and I don't even know if I can put some tape on it, like, because there's the one part that I can't let go back in. If it goes back in, it's a goner, right? So anyway, yeah. So I think I'm gonna hit that up next week. We're gonna talk about antennas. We're gonna talk about how you got into the hobby, and then where do you steal your money from? Like, do you knock over jewelry stores? Do you rob convenience stores to get that antenna? Stuff like that. Okay, thanks for being out there. We'll let you go there. NX3F.
Yeah. Or did one happen to knock over a liquor store or something?
I'm telling you.
To try to get that money for never mind. I'm clear. NX3F.
Hey, you saw it. I'm in the cop shop now. Mr. Vincent, what possessed you to knock over that thing? Well, I was trying to raise money myself after paying all my bills and stuff, but old boy started talking about that TGIF, and it sounded like a good thing that I could get into, so I don't know what came over me. I went to go get some gas, decided it'd be a cool idea, knocked over the liquor store there at the gas station, and bought me that TGIF thing, so yeah. How long I got? And do y'all have any antennas set up there in the jail? Because then I could be on the radio all day if they had that. You got to weigh your options, right? Okay, we're gonna get out of here on that one. Y'all have a good night. This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor with the AllStar Echolink. We're gonna be signing off. Bye bye, everybody.
I don't know, but I found these results on search.
Logging stations, one by one. Hoda hunters calling, join the radio fun.
Okay, that's it, folks. Y'all have a good rest of y'all's night. On the air with VA3EWV, we're clear. And 7-3.